Hey guys, welcome back to In Hour 5. It's been a minute, it's been quite a long period of time, like months. People thought we had gone abroad. Some guys were calling me, "Are you in America? What? We're no longer seeing you." People were starving, people, were thirsty for these episodes. I don't know.
You wish, of course, but the number of viewers.
Why are you pessimistic?
Introduce yourself to the new viewers.
Optimist. You have to be an optimist.
We have some new
You
viewers.
have to be optimistic. Oh yeah, new viewers.
Yeah.
This is In Hour 5, your favorite show, your favorite podcast. It's your boy Ian Kakoza and my co-host
Noah Ajira, as usual.
Noah Ajira, the astrophysicist. Yeah.
I'm not taking those titles.
Yeah.
I don't deserve them.
Why don't you deserve them?
I don't know.
You're pessimist, man. You have to embrace the knowledge.
Embrace. You can't compare me to who is the famous astrophysicist?
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
He's not an astrophysicist.
Oh, he's a what?
He's an astronomer.
No, you've broken my heart. All along I thought that guy was...
No, he's not. Astronomers just study celestial bodies, pretty much.
So he's just there observing?
Yeah.
An astrophysicist
is trying to come up with new fundamental theories to describe the cosmos. So he's a physicist who is trying to discover new knowledge or make up new knowledge.
Okay.
Whereas the astronomer
enough
making observations.
With the astronomer and the astrophysics people. Okay, yeah, happy new year, guys. Welcome to 2025. It is everyone's year. I don't know what we have left because everyone has taken their year. Everyone's saying it's my year, it's my year. They have cut off friends.
Every year it's everyone's year.
Everyone's year.
To focus on themselves, but differences don't really show up. I don't know why.
By the end of the year, they wait for another year to conquer.
Oh.
Anyway, we are at CTF, Yusuf Lule. Special thanks to Unipod. All this is because of Unipod.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is Timbuktu powered by Timbuktu? Of course, it is powered by Timbuktu.
Yeah, Timbuktu.
You
know what Timbuktu is, right?
Not really, not so much.
Me, the Timbuktu, I do know is the city in Mali. You've heard of it? You did.
Wow.
You did history.
I did history. When did we start about Timbuktu?
In O level. I also didn't do history in A level, so I do not know what they teach there. But we studied Timbuktu, Trans-Saharan trade. Timbuktu was this.
You did West African history?
Yes.
I did South African, Zulu, Khoikhoi, San, they were short yellow and one distinct sound and all that stuff.
Alright.
And yeah, so no, a lot has been happening in our absence and praises at the same time because we've been there existing, observing, while not talking about anything. But a lot has happened. First of all, I'll first talk about Kendrick Lamar.
Why are you
we shall bring the other stuff later.
Why you say it's so strong?
No.
Kendrick?
These guys denied Lil Wayne to perform at Super Bowl. Where was it?
New Orleans.
Yeah,
His
it was
hometown.
New Orleans, and it was Jay-Z on the committee plus his other people refused or decided to take.
So you're one of the conspiracy theorists who think Jay-Z rules everything.
No, but he's on the committee, isn't he?
By the way, someone, leave alone the Super Bowl and Kendrick, someone claims that Beyonce winning Grammy for Best Country Music Album, by the way.
Country music? I didn't even hear a
They
song.
claim that
Any
due
song.
to Jay-Z influence. I don't know who Jay-Z is. Is he a god or something?
And
Conspiracy theories.
How does he have such much power and he's influencing?
Absolutely.
But I don't know. I hear on every committee of music awarding people, but the performance was mid. I don't know. Wambale Alan is there shouting. Okay, Dr. Wambale, let me put that title on him. He's there shouting, what? This performance, the symbolism. The guy was there. You needed a PhD
to understand what's going on.
To understand Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar, next time you just want to be entertained. It's not
okay, yeah, I agree with you on that point because when you look at that kind of event, it's a sporting event, halftime show.
Yeah.
When you're going, say, for World Cup, they don't pick some guy who's going to drop some random poetry and you you sit and contemplate it for 10 hours before understanding.
People analyze. You have to go to YouTube.
And you're like,
What did he mean? Then they
when
tell
the
you
flag split into two pieces.
Then they are like, in 2012 this happened. Then in his song in 2014, you need an album, you need the syllabus, you need the curriculum.
Okay, yeah, let's leave him alone.
Let's talk about this one.
Dr.
This one
might come for us.
Yeah. Dr. Wambare might
cold,
sabotage.
And cold world.
Cold world.
Yeah.
Wambare and Cole might gang up on us.
Yeah, let's leave that.
Anyway, the other thing before we go to the main topic is the new curriculum, the new grading system. They said your neighbors confused the entire world, the entire country, sorry, and some people in diaspora. They see result 1, result 2. Have you taken a look at this?
The only thing confusing me about those results, all results I see are just A's and B's. I've not seen any C's.
I
don't know, is it possible to fail
for you
anymore?
Yes, for you. Okay, me what I've realized, what people whatever what people are saying, everyone is passing. Of course, 98.02% got result 1. Yeah, they are qualified to get their certificate.
So what's the difference? What's the distinction between you and other people? Back in the day, you would know the moment you see someone has an 8, you're like, yeah, that guy is
genius.
Yeah. It's a badge of honor. But now, if everyone has A's and B's, for some reason, what does that mean? What does anything mean anymore? So
it means that before, I feel like it's, I think it is the same thing. Because if you look at how they used to grade, Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, Division 4, then you, if you have failed. Yeah. So people who passed in Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, Division 4 would go to A level. True. And then the rest would not get the certificate. So it's like all that 98% still, I think 98% used to get.
But I don't understand.
But the difference is the combination.
But anyway,
the combination
might be a positive.
Yeah. The combination is if you have someone, how you will see someone as passed is by someone having straight A's. Nigeria is using the same system, if I'm not mistaken. It has been using. She has been, because it's a country mother.
She's now.
Yeah, like yeah, she's. Then what can we do?
English isn't our mother.
So Nigeria, she has been using the same system, having A's. So where you get kicked off is when you have gotten A's in only art subjects and you have D's in sciences. So when you are getting a combination, of course, no one will give you BCM, PCB with D's. So of course it's like the smart people will be the only guys who will be getting, and the results you guys are seeing is for the Congo, Seta, what?
So those people with the D's and
people with C's are not posting.
They don't post.
Yes, because me I asked some friend and he had to send me in the inbox.
He's like,
he refused to post this. Yes, he's like, yeah. Then someone was like, send me results. He sent me a section. He cropped subjects which had 2 A's, then he cropped also project work, which is A. You know, they are doing projects now, things we had to do in, I don't know, elementary school. Because, the projects we are trying to do in the new curriculum.
Like what we see in American movies, when the kid goes home and then they always make him a volcano
and anti-hill, what, yeah. Those are
so we're also becoming fancy like Americans. Hollywood curriculum.
Yeah.
We have Jadens all over. Anyway, let's move on.
Okay, let's move on. So let's get serious business right now.
Yeah.
Let's get back to serious business. So, Noah, first we are having 2 issues going on around the world right now, politically and economically. They are really.
I don't think there are just 2 issues going on.
Oh, there are very many issues.
Yeah.
Okay, two main issues I've observed in my whatever. I don't. You tell me also what you've observed. Yeah. Well, you're so excited.
Yeah.
The first is the Trump issues. Trump and all that Trump stuff. Then Congo, Dr. Congo.
It's not
Democratic Republic
Oh.
of Congo.
You know, it's true when you're a kid and you look at a map, you see DR and you're like, Dr. Congo.
Dr. Congo.
Why is this Congo? Doctor, this one is Brazzaville. What's going on?
No, I was not that kid. I think you were that kid. I knew it was Democratic Republic.
No. So the first time you saw a map and it just said DR Congo, were you not curious?
I knew that it's an abbreviation for Democratic
Republic
of Congo.
Kid genius.
Not kid genius, but we had been taught.
I believe that.
Okay, no, Congo. So, Congo has been with wars going on. Civil wars. Are they civil wars?
Yeah.
They are civil wars because they're amongst the natives. The UN, which is there, is always observing. Is it that UN?
Yeah.
United Nations, they are good at. I saw a reel when they say they are good at observing.
A multilateral organization, of course,
You
don't have to expect them to, if they really intervened in every single conflict, they would be global tyrants. They would just be, because the UN is a multilateral organization made up of most countries in the world. And there are a few countries that have some disproportionate power. The ones on the Security Council, so Russia, China, USA, UK, etc. So if they intervened everywhere, the UN would just be a useless vehicle that's just captured by anyone and someone will want to destroy your country. And so I think it's better if they just.
So my question, why do they fly there to war-torn countries with guns, tanks, what?
They want to protect
their
aid workers, sometimes diplomats, sometimes they help protect journalists, sometimes they gather evidence because some of these people end up being indicted by authorities like say some global courts. But I want to show you an example of what happens if the UN tried to do that sort of intervention everywhere. They would end up like what happened with the ICC. The ICC of recent,
International Criminal Court.
At first they only used to indict African leaders. So you just be there achieving as an African president, war crimes. They never talked about anyone in any other country. No Europeans were taken up, no Asians, no one, only Africans. So all the African countries withdrew from the ICC, most African countries, and it became toothless because it can't enforce anything when a country isn't willing to arrest someone and hand him over. So many of our leaders around Africa actually had cases with the ICC. But it's totally pointless. And recently,
I think it might even happen to you. And there's a certain video I've watched recently when are they called secretaries? Those ones who represent countries in the United Nations.
But
it was the General Secretary of Israel. Yes. I don't remember well.
I think you're still thinking of ICC now.
No. I'm talking about UN. This has happened recently. He was trying to give a speech and everyone moved.
The envoy. Yeah. Now that's the envoy for Israel. Now, interestingly, on the same Israel issue, ICC, the first time it actually really took down someone or attempted to take down someone not African affiliated. Their first target was the president of Israel, Netanyahu.
What?
Yes, so during this Gaza conflict, we just concluded, Netanyahu was indicted, I think, for war crimes and genocide and etc. The people who led the case were actually African, South Africa, which is still a member. They went and there was a case in ICC and all that, and eventually the charges were advanced. So America now designated the ICC as a rogue body or some kind of terrorist body now.
What?
So now the ICC is practically useless because America.
America
was never a member, but it used to be cheering as say they get some random guy from Sudan like Bashir, former president. When they get Bashir and they're like, we have charges for Bashir, America would be there cheering. But not a member of the court because they don't want their people to be accused. Then now when they accuse the Israeli president, of course America is now really
So ICC,
Attacking.
where would they take Kony if because
The
now
court, I think
people
it's
have
now
started,
dead.
have you seen the adverts like $4 million, Noah, we should go to the forests of Congo.
Congo is not for beginners.
For me, but there are over 50, more than at least 50 rebel groups.
Sometimes even
in
100.
Congo.
No one actually knows.
50,
Yeah.
at least 50.
But
Do you know 50? More than 50. We had only one rebel group,
and it
was a
it was
problem
news
here
everywhere.
in northern Uganda.
It was news every day.
Nigeria has how many? It has Boko Haram and
Nigeria has so many. Nigeria has Boko Haram. It has pirates in the Delta.
the pirates.
It has-
Those are pirates. They are not rebel groups. For them,
Even I see.
for them, if you're not traveling on the sea, they have no problem with it.
If you're not,
You remember that
if you're
video?
not drilling oil, they have no problem.
With you.
Actually, if you're for real,
they transport
as-
goods on
but
the sea.
as a local, if you're Nigerian in the Delta, they don't care about you. They just wait for that white guy who works in the oil rig, and that's who they want to.
That's
kidnap.
what they want to
They just want to kidnap the white guy.
So
ask
it's
for
not
ransom.
a rebel group, they are thieves.
Yeah, but it's the same
They are
thing.
inspired by Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's the same thing in Congo. People say that they are rebels, but
Yes.
in reality, the people in Congo are usually just also. Can I say robbers?
Great.
They're bandits.
Okay, it's
they're
not
like
funny.
pirates. They're
I
like
laughed, but I've remembered it's not that
Yeah, it's
funny
very
thing,
sad.
but-
what you be this? It's
No.
very
I was just trying to remember when
It's
they were interviewing the different rebel groups in Congo, and this guy, some soldier who they hid the identity, whose identity was hidden, was like, anyone in Congo can start up a rebel group. You just be there chilling.
Yeah.
You're like, Noah, call against Allah. Do they have some pistols? Let's go. So they were interviewing them and they were like, everyone wants to liberate the country. There are more than 50 or over 100.
that's a joke.
But they all, do you know where they go to liberate the country? The capital is this side, but they are in Goma,
Eastern Congo.
Eastern Congo, near, what is that? We said about that.
Like Kivu?
No. We are going to
Calvert?
Katanga. Isn't it? Where they
Katanga is a
mine,
bit southern, but
where they mine.
Yeah, but,
where is
south-
gold?
it's in the eastern part, mostly southeastern. But yeah, that entire region is very mineral rich.
Yeah.
That entire province.
Yeah. So no.
Even straight
what
down
is
to
what
Goma.
is really wrong with Congo? Because it is too much, man. The enslaving of the child labor, or which is almost like slavery. To the rebel groups, because rebel groups just come and they control a certain area, then they make people mine gold, then they sell gold, then they buy weapons to what do what. We even have a Ugandan rebel group, which UPDF has been hunting for a good time.
Also,
They are which was formerly led by what was his name?
it was called Jamil.
Jamil Mukulu. And there is also a certain video on YouTube when
I've seen the video.
we have to play that video for people.
Yeah, it was
A
on,
video.
it was actually shot by. It was
NTV.
on news.
I think it
a
was
few years
NTV.
back.
And when the rebel group is
Training.
and amidst the training, they kill their friend.
Yeah.
And one guy in Uganda said, "Oh yeah, where they?" Can you imagine?
Okay, it's a ridiculous video. They don't look serious. But the reality is, when you really think of it from the lens of rebels want to take over the government of a certain country, I don't think this is necessarily the intention of the militants in Eastern Congo. So if you look at them as people trying to take over the country, of course, if you're one of 8 rebel groups, it doesn't help you.
Connie could be one of those. Why don't they just gather? And
But they would just
for
gather
money?
and they form like a council and then they attack. But the reality is, what they really want to do is they just gain like a certain portion of territory. They conquer it like a fief, enslave the people around. They act like the bosses. They get tributes. You give them food, money. They control whoever is moving around. Then, if there are resources, they will mine illegally. They will grow plants, you know which plants?
Yeah.
Ganja, what? TikTok will censor us. I don't know if YouTube will, but TikTok. And etc. So they are not really rebels. They are not. They are just.
They are entrepreneurs.
Most of them are bandits. If they are real rebel groups, they are maybe
let's use a legit term to them. They are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
They are businessmen. They are not after, because someone said. You remember this previous attack which has been on the Ugandan embassy, Rwanda embassy, and all that. Then also, I think they came and is it the M23?
Yeah.
Guys, was it M23 and some locals?
No.
I didn't understand that.
What happened is, what's going on? M23 captured a city, Goma, which you're talking about, which is across the lake from Rwanda. Yeah. It's, I think, the largest city in that province. Okay? But the embassies of USA and France and Uganda in Kinshasa were attacked by the locals, because the locals believe that
they have a
foreign countries are the ones funding this M23. We will not name any foreign.
We don't know which foreign countries.
I also don't know.
Do you know any foreign country?
I
don't know.
Yeah.
I can't even know.
Of course.
Yeah. They are foreign countries.
They're just allegations.
Because some guys were like, oh God, the M23 have new guns.
And new uniforms.
They have new guns, uniforms. It looks like they feed on KFC. Like the M23.
But when you look at compare with ADF, ADF is there.
ADF is the one of Mukuru.
Yes, man, the guys in there. You cannot.
That one needs separating.
So we don't know who is.
This guy is training. They train in Gomez's what?
Yeah.
Did you see the women in Bukaya? What? Kanzo's man.
Yeah,
Someone was running. He couldn't run well. He fell in the forest. Man.
Yeah, they really have. Those ones don't have funding. I don't think. But anyway, they believe that foreign entities are doing this.
What is ADF in full?
Allied Democratic Front. But I do not know why they chose that. They are a fundamentalist kind of radical Islam group. So sort of like say Al-Shabaab or whatever.
But they
or Boko Haram.
They got an English term.
They got an English name and democracy, and I don't understand the philosophy.
But their idea was to take over the government of Uganda.
Yeah, and
from Congo.
No. They actually used to be here.
Is that funny? From where? Which bush?
They were
in Forest?
No, they were here in western Uganda, in many places. Actually, you might think that they are a joke, but but they attacked a certain village, and so these ADF people attacked a certain village and robbed stuff. etc.
Even I remember the incidents of that.
Then they attacked
the school incidents.
They attacked the school, killed children.
But I don't know why.
The second time they
why did they kill children? Like I don't understand why.
Now
sending the message to
you know what I think? Don't look at them as rebels. They don't even think of sending a message or anything. These people are just think of, if you got wild people, you kept them somewhere, indoctrinated them. The lifestyle they are used to is that pirate lifestyle. They are normal people, but they are used to violence. Rational. They are used to violence. All they want to do is hold their fief in there in Congo, extract the resources, extract things from people. When they run short, they go across the border, they raid. They are like bandits, robbers, but they don't really have such a serious agenda.
What's the problem with Rwanda? Sorry.
Don't mention. Please. Yeah. Okay, please, in editing.
What's the problem with Congo? Are they the minerals? Are they the leaders or the foreigners?
Personally, I believe all the parties currently blamed for the issues there. Those are just symptoms, whatever those people are doing or not doing, whether they are rebel groups, whether they are foreign people funding rebels, whether those are just fake allegations. All that is just a product of what the country has been through before that. Because before the two Congos in the 90s, where the presidents were overthrown by foreign forces, where Kabila Senior and Mobutu were overthrown by foreign forces.
By foreign forces.
Yes, sir. They had that period where they were ruled by Mobutu and the country stagnated. If you look at their growth figures before Mobutu's overthrow, that country was really stuck in one place. And then you wonder, how were these people putting up with such a person? He's raiding the country's coffers. This is a person who had mansions. He used to fly on a Concorde every for lunch in France.
For breakfast.
If his wife wants to shop in France, she gets on a Concorde, flies.
There's a video of him saying, talking to the army had run out of money, and he was telling them, go to Goma, and sort yourselves. Go and sort yourselves. You know, in Goma is gold, and I don't know. Is there only gold?
Apparently.
Some YouTube show that you can grow it there, like it's a very busy area.
Yeah, apparently. So I just think when you look at the previous history, you don't expect the country to have had the time to really stabilize even right now. So it's not necessarily everyone's fault. Then when you look at what Mobutu was doing, getting millions of dollars straight from the bank, building an airport in the middle of the Congo.
Mansions.
Building mansions and airports.
He had an airport
where the Concorde could land in the middle of the jungle to pick up his wife so she can go shopping. Remember, Concorde was a supersonic jet. So it could get to France in, say, a couple of hours maximum, or an hour and a half. Paris, she goes to a Louis Vuitton store and Gucci and buys bags, has lunch at a 3-star Michelin restaurant, and flies back for supper.
Even the kids used to study there.
Yes.
They go during, in the morning, they go study in France.
And then the Concorde picks them.
The Concorde picks them.
Yeah.
And I think it would consume fuel like no business.
Yeah, the Concorde was such a hard aircraft.
So the leaders are also a problem.
Not even the leaders. Look at the situation that led to Mobutu's rise to power.
The execution of Lumumba.
The coup, the execution of Lumumba, which had foreign backers. We will not name.
Those ones everyone knows.
You want to name them?
Yes, the CIA.
And okay. All right. They had foreign backers. Mobutu was
I mean the certificate intelligence agents. I don't mean the central intelligence agents.
Yeah, so as we all know, there was a certain global conflict going on, the Cold War, and people were worried that Lumumba is going to give his resources
and become a communist
to the communists. So
Russia.
There were foreign people who came and assisted in the removal of Lumumba, the independence president.
No, who are those foreign people?
I'm not naming anyone.
Who are those foreign people who
they handed the country?
Execution.
They handed the country to a looter. I'm not naming anyone. So the guy lived in the country for more than for about 2 decades.
No, that guy can't come for you right now. Is he still alive?
Who?
The looter.
The looter is not around, of course.
Who's the looter?
I'm talking about the foreign people who handed over
to the looter.
Yes.
Who's the looter?
The looter is Mobutu. I can name Mobutu any day.
Yes, no.
So Mobutu looted the country and he stagnated its growth. And even before that, Congo was already starting off on a back foot. If you go back to before independence, during the period, there's a period where Congo was ruled as a personal property of the King of Belgium, was called Leopold. So basically,
King Leopold. Man, that guy
is considered one of the worst people. He probably has the highest personal death toll.
More than Hitler.
Yeah, definitely more than Hitler. He's probably competing with Hitler, Pol Pot,
King Leopold was malicious, like no business.
Exactly. So this is a country where people were forced to grow rubber. They couldn't grow food to feed themselves. When they couldn't meet the quota for these cash crops that the king has said you're going to bring, the troops would come and literally chop up your kid.
And cut off their limbs.
They will chop off your arm if you don't meet the quota, or they chop off your kid's arm or something. Yeah? So people starved in the millions. people don't even know the exact number because they were trying to grow these random cash crops.
Cotton, coffee, rubber.
And meet the quota that the colonizers wanted. They couldn't even.
They would put aside food crops,
yes,
just to grow cotton,
yes,
for King Leopold.
And that aside, there was nothing like a justice system, nothing. Basically, whatever the foreign soldiers said was law. So if the foreign soldier said to kill you, it kills you. You can go look up at that history.
Okay, yes, whatever, because Romans did that to the neighboring
and
tribes.
That aside.
Yes, it was so sad and all that.
And that aside, compared to countries like say here in Uganda, our colonizers, when they were here, they did a bunch of stuff. They built a dam on the River Nile.
They built universities.
They put up a power distribution network. They put the biggest university in Africa.
In Africa.
At the time.
No.
The best.
It is the best university.
Okay, it is the best. Yes.
Be patriotic.
Okay, I'm patriotic. The best university in Africa.
Yes.
They put up a very nice airport. It was the best in Africa also.
The interior one.
Yes. They set up a lot of infrastructure.
The Mulago.
Yeah.
Rubaga.
They trained professionals, doctors, engineers, lawyers,
constructed roads, built Kampala.
There's stuff they did that left the country on a certain footing. But in the case of DR Congo, because it was viewed as someone's.
Suppose these people were French and these guys are British.
Germans are not French.
No, the King Leopold was a Belgium. Oh, sorry.
Yes, but he was so brutal that the other colonizers came and took the territory from him by force.
Because it was too much.
It was too much. He was overdoing it. They said, no, this is inhumane. You can't do this. And they captured the territory. They took it away from him.
And they colonized it further.
Yeah. But by the time of independence, this country had, say, like, maximum. Imagine a country of Congo's size having, like, say, 20 doctors. So,
there was no any.
There were no
people were uneducated. At least here people were there.
Yeah, here they got the chiefs and everyone. They sent them to schools. They set up schools.
And that's why most of those guys came and started here.
Yeah. So the country, once we added, say maybe Lumumba could have rescued the situation and he was liked and maybe he could have built the country from scratch. But even that aside, leave alone the coup foreign backed, there's a good chance that the country would have still collapsed into civil wars.
So no, have we moved on from that? Can the leaders do something? Because recently I watched a documentary. It was about Goma and all those insecurities and political whatever instabilities in Goma. So the government under the president, I don't remember, but I remember that general, because the general was a very important figure in that documentary. Yeah? So during this saga, they sent him to fight the M23 and other rebel groups from.
You are naming names here.
Who?
Who sent who?
It's a Congo government trying to fight rebels. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I thought you were going to name.
No, I'm saying it's the Congo government under the orders of the president, who sent a certain general to go and fight what? To fight the rebels in Goma. So this guy fought and won. He's called Mamadou. He was called Mamadou because when these guys went to. When the press was trying to interview him, you know, after him beat the M23 out of the Goma, that's when the president sent other generals to come and to take a look what was going on. So during the press interviews, whenever they would give him a mic to talk about the war, these generals would push him away. Like indirectly, they would just come and be like, you don't have to ask him, ask me, because me, I was the master plan. Why you make people in Goma? We loved Mamadou so much.
So this fear that he will.
Yeah, I think sort of, because everyone liked Mamadou. Everyone was praising Mamadou, and the generals. So what happened is that after 1 year or 2 years, he was assassinated, killed. He was ambushed, and finding out under investigations. It was the colleagues, army colleagues,
Fellow army
who,
colleagues.
yeah, fellow, who hired they hired
Someone.
special forces from the foreign countries.
From the
'cause-
foreign country.
Yeah, according to the IDs, the identification, they were really from the foreign countries.
But we're a crazy country.
Yeah. And they killed what? Mamadou. So, let's say the
You
foreigners
think it's
came.
an African problem?
Yeah,
Not
partly it's an African problem. People like Mamadou, if we let them to thrive and do the good work, then we promote such good work Mamadou was doing, Congo would have been far from here. And even during the interview, the guy said himself, there's a certain soldier, he said, the problem is the leaders mostly, because the leaders there's also the influence of the foreigners. They have influence everywhere. These guys are worth billions of dollars. There's no way we can have billions of dollars without having influence everywhere. You get it?
Yeah.
So that's a factor which will be always anywhere in any country, regardless. So the citizens of the country, for them, what are they doing? As generals, as leaders, what are they doing? Because he said he was in the army of Congo, and afterwards, after a certain period of time, he got fed up because they were fighting and they were being less paid. And he's saying most of the Congo army, they just turn into rebels. So when they turn into rebels, do you know what happens? They get into negotiations with the government. And when they get into negotiation with the government, they bring them back into promising them higher ranks and a higher pay, and then they dissolve that certain rebel group. And if the other guys see this guy first form the rebel group to get into higher rank, this one will also be inspired,
and they keep doing that.
And they keep doing that, and that has been happening. That's why we have over 100 rebel groups in Congo, gold and all that stuff. We need patriotism. First of all, like Mamadou. Okay, me, I feel so bad Mamadou died, because Mamadou was such, what's the Gen Z word? A gem?
What you mean? A gem. But anyway.
No, for real, So now I feel like party Africans, we are crippling ourselves.
We are.
Let's stop saying the influence.
Me
I'm
as-
thinking Leopold.
as
cut
an
off
African-
the hands of my ancestor. That's why now I'm not working. What?
But they're the ones who set into motion the events that brought us here. If you look at most of the conflicts here, they're usually because a European did something one way or another. And that's why we have Congo so fractured.
Congo is so fractured because of the too many enemies and people not being
So who
patriotic.
broke it up? Was it not foreigners who
It was foreigners, but we have to
A
move
dictator.
on. No, we have to move
and a
on.
thief
China was
who flew on
colonized.
a Concorde?
Japan was okay. Let me ask you, when Japan was fighting with the US and the US dropped the bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, if any African country would ever get such a blow, would they ever come?
They won't recover, but what you forget.
Will they ever recover?
Now let me show you how.
But
why
Japan
not.
recovered.
Let me show you why not.
China was colonized.
Let me show you
What
why
the
not.
hell?
Yeah. Let me show you why not.
Okay.
Okay, let me show you why they
China,
want.
but let me finish the China thing. China was colonized. Rome colonized the neighboring countries. They recovered. We need to recover, man. We need to move on
Now,
from King
let me
Leopold
tell you,
and his maliciousness.
Rome colonized those countries you're talking about. Say Britain. Rome colonized Britain 1,900 years ago. That's not a serious time frame. Like
compared to our 60 years of
countries
independence.
we are colonized 60 years ago. You can't compare 2 millennia to 60 years.
By the way, 60 years ago is so.
It's recent.
Because
I think the Japan you're talking about.
My granddad was colonized.
Yes.
Hey, it's not fun.
Your granddad.
Sorry, granddad.
So look at the Japan you're talking about. Japan is a homogeneous nation of people called Japanese. It's like having one tribe almost.
So they are united.
They are Japanese. They speak Japanese. They have been a nation for millennia. They have the longest running monarchy in the world. Their monarchy has legendary roots for 2,000 years, one unbroken line
I can
of
see
the emperor of Japan.
From Shogun.
Passed on from son to what?
It's still an empire up to now.
Yes. Why didn't they have a prime minister? It's the empire of Japan, sort of. Of course, they've changed the political power.
With ninjas, what?
Yeah. After World War.
Do they have ninjas, man?
Not anymore, but you can see it. That's a country with the cultural resilience to survive a nuclear weapon, to get in contact with foreigners, and 20 years later, they were fighting a war with the European nation, Russia. They fought a war against the Russian Empire back before it.
20 years later, after the Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
No, not Nagasaki.
I thought.
Before, like when they first met Europeans, they just gathered that technology, and within say 20 years, they had a war with Russia, the Russo-Japanese war, and they won. They defeated the Russian Empire.
Okay, Noah, I think time has caught up with us. We shall talk more. This is an endless debate or conversation.
Okay, thank you to all our viewers, subscribers. Go ahead, subscribe, follow us on all socials, Instagram, YouTube, definitely, TikTok.
Peace to Unipod, Makerere University, and the Republic of Uganda, for God and my country, and for the good of mankind.